been aware of homicide in my community. However, I never thought it would be something that will impact me personally. I got a phone call at about 10:30 to let me know that my brother had been shot. 30 minutes later, I was told at the hospital that my brother didn't make it. That day I became a co-victim of homicide, and but I never stopped being a co-victim at the day of the crime. It doesn't stop at the crime itself, it keeps going. So for example, people suffer from depression after the actual crime, or depending on who you lost. So if you lost your provider, at this point now you're suffering from financial instability or etc. So that's where V.A.S.S come in and their support. So for me, it's been like more so emotional support. I know at some time I kind of like was frustrated with like my friends and extended family because I felt like that they didn't provide the support that I needed. However, I had to remember that just because they never been through something so sensitive, they probably wouldn't understand. So V.A.S.S kind of gave me a new circle of support of people that do understand. Also, they let me know that it's okay, like if your loved ones don't understand, you can tell them like how you need to be supported. So if you need that extra call during Christmas, that's okay. I just want to thank all of you that came out here, especially those that paid for tickets, and even the families for being here. Like he mentioned, that this helps us with the retreat, and during the retreat, we continuously increase our circle of support. Also, I want to thank you, Ms. Anissa, all your sacrifices, working 3 jobs to make this happen. So I just wanted to make sure I thanked you, and that's all. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the meeting.
My name is John Powell. I direct the Restorative Justice Clinic at the Law School of Cameron University here in Raleigh. Joy and I had the honor of being at the retreat this year and facilitating what we call circle process, which is a way that everyone in the room has voice. We bring prompts for people to answer, we build relationship, we build a safe place, and it's one of the most sacred places that I've ever been in this. And I too just have to give so much thanks to Anissa for what she has done. She and I met when she attended a Victim Certification Academy several years ago. As you know, she has experienced this greatest loss of losses. And she was one of these people that after I got through making my presentation about victim offender dialogue and circles, she wouldn't go away. Those of you that know her know that that's a character trait of hers. But she was inquisitive that day, and she said, I want to know more about this. And now look at this room and this, and just think about what you and others have done.
But thank you for welcoming us. That retreat was one of the highlights of my year. You guys welcomed us. We became like family. We laughed and we cried together. We ate together, and it was a wonderful. This work, I just can't even begin to describe what it means to me. 7 or 8 years ago, my own life kind of fell apart. Got divorced, lost everything, and became a single mom with 4 kids, and never thought I would be there. But that is really the path that brought me to this work. And there's a song, Casting Crowns has Just Be Held, where it says, I thought my life was falling apart, it was really falling into place. So I was born for this. I'm very, very thankful. I pinch myself all the time. I can't believe I get paid to do this work. And I love it very much, and I'm so honored to be here with all of you guys, and I look forward to the next retreat. Thank you.
Most of what I know, I've got some training and education and things like that, but most of what I know about homicide support services is what I've learned from people like many of you in this room. We offer support groups. If you're in the Wake County area or close enough to drive to Raleigh, we have a support group. It will actually be this coming Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday of each month, an in-person support group. We can't go into as much depth and wealth as on a retreat, but it gives folks a place, again, that confidential space, the safe space, sacred space, for people to be heard. And as one mom of a murdered son once told me, when she had a place, a retreat, or a support group, or a circle to talk about the loss of her son, she said she felt like she could breathe again. And we're in the process of rolling out online support groups. I'm a little old-fashioned. I'd much rather be in the same room with somebody, but we've got a pretty big state, and so we're going to see if doing some online support groups will help to reach some folks who aren't close to an in-person support group. We work with local partners, like the Anisas, and we need a lot more Anisas around the state of North Carolina, in my opinion. But, yeah. Because our job isn't to come into a community and do it, it's to find local partners who are, in many cases, already doing it and see how we can provide some training, some support, some assistance in whatever way we can. And 2 years ago, NISA approached the governor's office in the North Carolina governor's office and got the governor to proclaim November 20th to December 20th Survivors of Homicide Victims Awareness Month. We took that opportunity to start an annual candlelight vigil. This year it will be on December 10th. For more information, you can find our website or get a card from me tonight or something like that. But December 10th, the candlelight vigil on the state capitol grounds is another way of trying to raise awareness for a group of people that say that they too often feel forgotten, feel isolated, feel abandoned, feel neglected. And so we're trying to change that even through some awareness events like the candlelight vigil on December 10th. So I'm going to stop there. And again, thank you. And thanks to all of you who are here tonight. It's really awesome to see this many people interested in this area.
So I don't marry him because he wasn't ready. And they stayed together. They were together for 5 years, and then Mark was killed by a friend of ours, by somebody we both knew and that he knew well. And Lisa was left with 2 children. I had made Mark a promise. We were in the streets. We were out clubbing and got to drinking, as a matter of fact. And he said, "If I die, will you take care of my kids?" I said, "Yeah, you're my brother." And then within 6 months, he was dead. So I did what I could, but I watched a young mother struggle to raise 2 boys. 2 boys whom I did everything I possibly could, but I watched her have them on a day-to-day basis. And I watched how she would how she would go days where she would feed them, and I didn't even know that she won't eat, because she'd make sure that they did. She made sure that that's what a mother does. That's what a mother does. She provided. I watched her pull her life back together. And 5.2 months, no, it took about 20 years. And I watched her take a job with Wake County, and then I watched her begin to change herself. I watched her buy her first home. I watched her turn this tragedy around. These things, and she won't talk about it. Pastor Chris, she told you about the second job. She has a 3rd job. Yeah. She works 3 jobs. One to take care of her home, and the other 2 to do these. Because she gets off work at 7 in the morning, 7:45, and then she's in Sanford for the second job a little after 8 o'clock, and she's there until the middle of the day. Sometimes if those clients need more, she stays through the course of the day, and there have been days where I know for a fact she's only slept 2 hours, and then she's back to go to work again to the next job. So this is what kind of dedication we're talking about, and I just want to salute you myself, because I watched where you came from, and I watched as you grew, and you are an amazing person. And I love you. So stand up and give her a hand.
This is who made the the room beautiful for us tonight. People see me and they don't know what to do with me. People see people like Shelby. They don't know what to do with Shelby. So we come together and we raise awareness and we get resources for families like us. We're going to continue to do what we do. And I ask you that you all come out again next year. Tell a friend, tell a loved one. If you know someone that suffered a loss of homicide, we're here. I'm a phone call away. All you gotta do is call me. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for being here with us. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody that pitched in and helped with dinner tonight. I know we'll do without you. Audrey, Renee, thank you so much. Adam, thank you. Philip, I thank you all so much. Thank you to all the law students. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all come out to this again. Thank you, Mr. Powell, for bringing them out. Thank y'all so much. Thank you all. Y'all have a good night.